spinning to fade. There is no time to waste. I've got that lightning inside me. This is how legends are made.
Hey guys, welcome to the first edition of Sparwars Sparcast. My name is Nick Placette. I'm the president and founder of Sparwars Entertainment. Right here next to me is Agustin Andiarena.
Hi guys, my name is Agustin, as he just said. I'm WKF Sports Director in the US. We're here just as a first edition to try to tell you a little bit about what we do here, what we're bringing.
So a little bit about Sparwars, if you are just getting familiar with us. No, we have no affiliation to the movie except for the really cool name. My idea for Sparwars was really, as someone who's fought before, all on the amateur scene, there's so many different promotions around, and I never had the opportunity to get my feet wet and kind of put myself in that position of walking out in front of a crowd and getting the fights judged and just getting that experience, which is so crucial. I think Agustin, also as a fighter, amateur and pro, can attest to the fact that without that crucial experience of, again, walking out with your walkout music and the crowd there and seeing the pressure of the judges and the ref, that's a different type of anxiety and pressure that we don't get from just regular sparring.
Exactly. What you say is totally right. I agree 100%. Because what we usually see on TV is a professional fighter. It's a person that walks over there, that the show is set up, that the confidence, but to build that, to see that person walking like that, doing the type of fight that they do, you have to practice, if you want to call it in some way, right? And that practice come when you do this amateur experience, going to somewhere to fight, where you are in a reduced space, with your family maybe, or the family of your opponent, over 50 people, but there is no environment, you cannot do that. So that's what I think Sparwars is bringing to the table and to the scene with this, right?
Definitely. So again, that was my idea. It was let's make a platform not only for up and coming fighters and competitors, whether they have fought before and they just want to stay fresh and get some more experience. So whether, hey, I've done some amateur kickboxing and amateur MMA, but hey, I want to get my feet involved. I want to get my feet wet with boxing. I want to do an exhibition boxing match without having to go through USA Boxing and getting your passport and paying for your license. And I'm sorry, USA Boxing, if you're watching this, we have nothing. Obviously, I actually boxed for USA Boxing a few times, and I had full support for that amateur system. But there should also be a platform before they step up to USA Boxing where they can do an exhibition boxing match, which isn't going to go against their record, where they have 16 or 14 ounce gloves on. And again, they're just getting that experience, which to me is really invaluable. You can't put a price on that experience that they get. Now we're happy that we have Agustin on the team and that now we're offering WKF sanctioned fights. So for those guys that are amateur, that are maybe they have a couple fights under their belt, maybe they only have one or two, but they still want to stick to purely sanctioned fights, we're offering that now, being sanctioned by the U.S. Department of the World Kickboxing Federation.
Exactly. That's what we bring here. As he said, WKF, the World Kickboxing Federation, it's a federation that is worldwide, but it's just arrived now to the U.S. What we're bringing here is this environment for these amateur or pro-am fighters where they can experience this and where they can fight by rules and regulations, international rules and regulations that provides them an environment, a secure environment, and something where they can develop their sport experience, right? Our mission over here as WKF is to create a competition circuit, a national competition circuit that could provide all the fighters a competitive scene so we can create a national team that goes outside of the country. I'm not from here, I'm from Argentina, but what I saw here is the scene over here is that big that sometimes the fighter over here, they don't go out of the country until they are professionals, which is good. But me as an Argentinian from the other side of the world, I did my own experience outside of the country, and that gives me a lot of experience to become a professional. And what I saw here whenever I arrived is like there's a lot of potential on the amateurs, on people that is training for years and still an amateur to become a professional that can make that experience over there. So WKF come here to join forces with Sparwars to offer that, a circuit, a ranking for the fighters. We bring our job for the fighters so we can create this team and we can fight outside.
And just, for the average fan, maybe you're not too familiar with the different sanctioning bodies, but there is, multiple sanctioning bodies throughout the world. Maybe you've seen a boxing match, professional boxing match, and the guy's got an orange belt and a green belt and a red, white, and blue belt and this belt. Those are different organizations, whether it's the WBO, the World Boxing Organization, the WBC, the World Boxing Council, the IBF, International Boxing. There's different regulatory bodies, right? Which has kind of gotten lost in professional boxing because, again, there's so many different ones. We don't know who's got which belt. There's the undisputed belt, the unified belt, this,
who's the
that,
champion, or how many
the interim,
champions?
this. Yeah, it's a lot to keep up with. So just like in the professional rank, there is, amateur sanctioning boards, and some of them are amateur and professional. So, for example, there's obviously the World Kickboxing Federation. We have the IKF, the International Kickboxing Federation, ISKA, International Sports Kickboxing Association, GAMA. So there's a lot. The main thing is that it's recognized, right, by the world, essentially. So the World Kickboxing Federation, which it was really like the implementation of like karate and then Bruce Lee, Kung Fu coming in, that they started adding kicks to fights, and it was really American style kickboxing. But I think that was the first WKF shows were full contact.
Well, there were some shows where WKF sanctioned full contact back in the days over here in the United States. But the full contact was born here in Los Angeles in 1974. And as you well said,
Bruce Lee time.
As you well said, they wanted to bring something else to the combat sports scene that were just monopolized by boxing. So they add the kicks in some regulations, and they try to put some, some tasty into that. So they grab the ring, they put two persons over there with fancy long pants that you can see that came from the martial arts.
Yep.
Those long pants, which are really amazing. I really like them, and they're super comfortable, as you could tell. And so what is different on this is like there are shorter rounds, they're 2-minute rounds, but the fights can be as long as a boxing match. You can be fighting for the title, for a world title, for over 10 or 12 rounds. So that means that you're going to have a fight with kicks and punches for 10 rounds. That's long race. So it's super interesting to bring this now because it's something that it already exists. It was created here, but it was kind of,
got lost.
Yeah, get lost. But we want to bring it up. We're going to bring it down again and revive a little bit.
Yeah.
That vibe of putting those pants, long pants, walking over there like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, I think it's again, that's the full contact is such an interesting style to add as an option because when you're taking away any strikes below the waist, you can no longer calf kick, you can no longer inside leg kick, you can no longer outside leg kick, you can no longer sweep, you can no longer trip. It's really just head and body strikes with punches and kicks, and you can add the spinning attacks, which you got, spinning wheel kicks and spinning back fists.
Yes, of course.
So
a spectacular knockout.
When you
you can see some people turning around, flying, and
do yourself a favor, go on YouTube and Google some full contact knockouts, full contact fights. You will find some really, really, really good, good fights and some amazing knockouts.
Actually, we want to show some shorts over here.
Yeah, let us show you a little bit of exactly what full contact style is and what. fighters.
Yeah, and actually it's fun because it started here in the US, but then they moved away from here because the environment wasn't ready for that kind of federation. What I'm telling is always the federations or the sports goes with the business, right? So we focus a lot on the amateurs. So that business wasn't that big on that time. Full contact, kickboxing, K1, back in the days, weren't what they are today because of these huge, companies like, I don't know, or brands, UFC, One Championship, that they brought the business to the sports. So this is what we have here, the expertise that WKF has is on mostly on the amateur side, bringing to the amateurs these professionalism that they need to learn or they need to experience to become professionals.
Exactly. And one of the things I prided myself when I started Sparwars was even before we were WKF sanctioned and we were just purely an exhibition, I wanted the show to resemble a professional show as much as possible. From having an EMT there, from having, judges that were all coaches and fighters, from having a licensed referee there, their walkout music, the environment, the ticket sales, everything. I wanted it to be as legitimate as possible so it could, they could get that feel as if they were fighting in a professional show. And I'm happy to say that in one of my first shows, I had a coach come up to me who, a very well-known coach, he's got a few fighters that he trains, and he came up to me and was like, hey man, I want to let you know this is better than some of the professional shows that I've brought my fighters to. And, that's why it's so important not just to have, a sanctioning board that's overseeing your event. I know you guys have seen street beefs or, backwood boxing. And again, a lot of support to those guys because they have started a community and they are spreading the sport of boxing and kickboxing and martial arts in general. But, it's important to have a emergency medical there. It's important to have a certified registered judge or referee or whatever it is, because, again, I have a lot of respect for those organizations, but when you're doing it in the backyard at someone's house and everyone's around and there's no medical there, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. You're still in a fight. Guys are still getting punched and still getting kicked. So, it's really important for me, and obviously to the World Kickboxing Federation, that we do everything as required by the State Athletic Commission. So State Athletic Commission requires amateurs to get an eye exam and a blood work exam. Hey, if you're going to fight under the WKF amateur rules, we need that as well. So we do everything according to the State Athletic Commission. And I'm proud to say that because there's a lot of guys that kind of cut corners and they're willing to put their fighters or their participants, however you want to call them, in potentially a bad situation, whether they don't have the insurance or they don't have the proper medical team there. So any fighter that's watching this or coach that's watching this and is looking for a legitimate promotion to either to debut in or just to continue getting the experience, look no further than Sparwars, or what we got coming up is a brand new show, which is going to be.
Are you spoiling?
Yeah, spoiler alert. We're not gonna release too much about it, but there is one thing that a couple things actually that we are going to talk about. So, Sparwars Entertainment is going to be helping promote a brand new event, which is going to be called WKF Championship. So the World Kickboxing Federation Championship. It's going to be our first event. It's going to be here in South Florida. We're going to have a brand new venue. And what the difference between us and just your average amateur kickboxing fight or Muay Thai fight is we're going to offer 3 different styles of kickboxing. One of them that I'm really excited for. So we're going to have Muay Thai, classical Muay Thai, depending on the number of fights. So whether Class A, Class B, Class C fighter will depend on the elbows and stuff like that. Then we're going to have K1 style kickboxing.
Everybody knows that.
Everyone knows
that. That became famous.
But one that you guys might not be so familiar with is going to be the full contact kickboxing. And I've seen it. I guess I've kind of trained it, but I've never actually fought in it. But from a man who has fought in it, I'm going to go ahead and give it over to Augustine to tell you a little bit more about the full contact style.
Full contact, it started here in the US, in Los Angeles, back in the days. I think it was '63, if I don't miss. And what happened? Full contact came to change a little bit the game back in the days with the boxing. Back in the '60s over there, everything was boxing. Like the fighting scene was on the boxing. So there was these people from karate or those martial arts over there, kung fu, that they say, hey, okay, boxing is something that it's huge, but we have kicks. There are kicks over here that we want to use on something that becomes a sport, a combat sport, right? And that's how it borns over here in Los Angeles. And it's this sport that you can box and you can use your kicks, but everything from your waist up. And you can see, we're going to show something a little short over there, that they use these fancy pants, which I love them. They are long pants that they bring it on a way to play like the shorts on the boxing. Remember back in the days that they have fancy pants, they walk in over there like with brilliant colors and that. Well, they bring that from the martial arts, those long pants, but they want to do it fancy too. So the people look at that and say, "Oh, look at those! Look at, you have your own, style, if you want to call it in some way." So it's a beautiful sport where the rounds are 2 minutes rounds, and you can go in a fight up to 10 rounds. Wow. If you're fighting for the title, go for 10 rounds. Okay, so 10 rounds of punching and kicking. Okay, they are 2 minutes, but you have to be 10 rounds punching and kicking. It's a while. Okay, and if you never seen nothing, go search it, and we're gonna put something over here, a little short, so you can see how it is, because it's super exciting. When you have good people doing that, you can see spinning kicks, you can see back fists, you can see timing.
And they're all going to the body or the head.
Exactly, and it's super exciting. It's like pa 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 pa, the timing and the rhythm of the fight.
I remember an old school fight. I think it happened in Japan, maybe, and it was, I want to say it was Duke Rufus, maybe. Again, this was back in, I think, like the early '70s, but he's an American kickboxer. So that American kickboxing style was the full contact style. They didn't throw leg kicks. They only threw body and head kicks. So, and they set up a fight between him and a Thai champion, and there had to be certain rules because, again, they weren't used to the leg kicks.
Claro.
So, as a Muay Thai guy, I love the leg kick, but it's very interesting to me if you take that out of the game, that you can only throw body kicks and head kicks. Now, can you catch kicks?
No, you can't.
So, again, that's like that's just pure action right there. So, because when you take away the ability to catch kicks and sweep and to clinch, then it's just two guys punching and kicking back and forth, let alone taking away the leg kicks, which leg kicks are vicious. I mean, I love a good leg kick, but I love me a good head kick also and a good spinning kick. I'm really excited that we're actually going to introduce this in Sparwars Volume 11. That's coming up June 17th. This is going to be the first time that we're introducing the full contact kickboxing. So if I have any, we got any Taekwondo guys out there, experienced karate competitors, shout out to Karate Combat that's really putting striking and, Karate Combat to me is really just kickboxing in a pit. I know that they do like the guys to wear the belts or, have that karate background. But, hey, if you're going to be doing the full contact kickboxing, just know you're wearing those long pants. That's a requirement.
I fought many times because I want to wear those pants.
Those pants are, first off, I've worn those pants before. They're somehow more comfortable and you're even more flexible than you would be in the short shorts. I don't know how it works out. There's just a level of comfort to wearing those.
It's like you wear them and you're like a step closer to be Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes,
you feel that you can stretch like that. It's crazy.
It's kind of like when you're wearing a gi. Like those pants are so like loose and it's almost like you're not even wearing pants. I don't know whoever created those. Shout out to those kickboxing pants. So guys, really exciting news. You can DM either the Sparwars page, that's going to be Sparwars_entertainment, or you can DM myself, it's me, Nick P. You can also DM.
You can go over WKF United States at gmail.com for any inquiries about fighting, about fighters, about partner with us, because as a federation, we're also partnering in many ways. We want to bring to our fighters as many options as we can. So,
so guys, so for fighters, you do need to register with the World Kickboxing Federation on their website. We'll have all that information for you guys. You can find it on their Instagram, but you do need to register. There's a small registration fee that covers your shorts, your gloves, all that stuff. Shout out to our sponsors. That's
Knockout.ro from Romania. Shout out to Mario.
Really high quality gear.
Awesome.
So we got nothing but the top gear for.
Let me say, they are I didn't know this before, but after they partnered with us, because I knew the guy by chance, Knockout is the official partner of WKF Austria, our CEO office. So it was fun because whenever I talked with this guy, with Mario, he said, "Oh yeah, I know Fritz, our CEO," and I was like, "What?" It's crazy.
So you will need to register. That's how we keep track. So again, I wanted to touch base on this, but now is actually a perfect time. As an amateur, as I was competing in amateur, I did both amateur MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, and amateur boxing. Now, in amateur boxing, if you're doing USA boxing, so that's all the other stuff, whether you've done maybe like a fight I just did, the boxing match in World Combat, World Class Combat Series, or formerly XFN. That was considered an exhibition boxing match. Even though we didn't wear headgear, even though we wore 10-ounce gloves, even though we were trying to knock each other out, it went down as an exhibition. What does that mean? Is it doesn't go into the USA passbook. USA Boxing only recognizes sanctioned fights under USA Boxing. And as you know, a lot of amateur boxers and coaches know, that's really how you take that next step from becoming an amateur boxer in the United States to becoming a pro. Unless you're kind of getting set up for a feeding or something like that. You know, guys like Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, these guys had hundreds of amateur boxing matches, all under USA Boxing. And they accumulated good records. They start to go on, you know, the guys that promote the USA amateur shows are also involved with the guys that throw the pro shows. So that's really how you're going to take that leap. Not necessary. I mean, you could always become, you can go the hard route. You can go through pro MMA and then try to switch over to the boxing realm. But typically, historically, that's how the amateur boxing. Now, for amateur kickboxing, this is where I'm really happy that Sparwars is partnering with the WKF. Is everything is going to be tracked on the WKF website. So when you fight for the WKF, first fight, you're going to go down 1-0, 0-1, draw, whatever it is. They're going to keep track of that. So when you've racked up 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 fights, you have a tracked record online. If you were to go and search my amateur kickboxing record, there's probably 5 different ones. Oh, he's 9-2, he's 8-6, he's 2-5. Like there's no one keeping track of it, because when you're fighting for Combat Night, then you're fighting for XFN, and then you're fighting for PFL. They're all within their own organization, and unfortunately, there's no organization that's keeping track of that for amateurs. For amateur MMA, there is a little bit better. They do a better job at keeping track of that. But even that, I just looked myself up, and I was 1-0, and I'm actually 1-2 in amateur MMA. I'll take the undefeated record, but I can tell you that it's incorrect.
that is not right.
So again, it's just giving fighters providing a platform for them that they can not only have a profile where it shows where they train, how many fights they have, where they're from, this and that. They can look up potential opponents without having to do the whole. So I know everyone wants their social media and this and that. Now they can just go and look. Okay, I'm fighting, Juan Diaz. Okay, I see he trains out of Bushido. I see that he's got 2 fights. I see that he's got 1-1. There, you got most of your answers already. You don't have to go try to search them on Instagram and create a fake account just so you can follow them and see their training videos.
Let me say something, and that's something that you're saying is like, we're so proud of that, and that's a how you say this, something that we have at WKF that you don't find at many other federation, and it's that tracking, that ranking you can access from all over the world.
Exactly.
And that's the key we have as directors or presidents on the different countries. We have a calendar, and in that calendar we have the whole events all around the world. That means that we can have access to those events. That means that if I have a ranking over here, I know the people that is fighting in the US, I keep track of them, and you've been fighting with us for 1 year, 2 years, or 10 events. I keep track me as a director, you know, and then you can say, oh, maybe you don't see us. Yeah, I be there and I can see that, and we can put you for another. For example, there's a continental championship on Colombia on September. So you say, okay, how can I reach to Colombia? Oh, I can put you over there, but you have to be here. We keep track of you. We take care of you, and we say, hey, do you want to fight? No, it's like, okay, your record says that you are first in the ranking. So by that ranking, you have the right to decide if you want to fight over there, and we can make it happen. Also, now we're starting now as WKF, but these kind of fights or events are going to be happening here, and that's what we're working for. We just started. It's been 3 months that we started over here, and this is not an excuse. It's something that I'm so proud to say that I'm sitting here telling you this, because we want to make that happen. Like, we want to have events over here and bring in people from Argentina, people from Colombia, people from Austria, people from France, whatever it is, to fight with the US people. Because now I have that shirt on. Okay, I'm not from here, but now I'm working for this, for this country. So this is something that we are so proud. We take care of our fighters and we keep track of them. We have that ranking, and I want personally to put you outside fighting, because that's the best feeling that a fighter could have when he's trying to make his career. Saying, okay, I'm taking a plane to a different country to defend my flag. I'm gonna walk out with my flag on my shoulders. I did that, and that's a feeling that nothing can give it to you. So we are working.
That's amazing.
To
and
do that.
That's why it's important to have a governing body like the World Kickboxing Federation keeping track of this. Similar to, that's the one, not the one thing I can give them. Like, they do a lot of things right, but USA Boxing, by sending you that passbook that you have to go to every fight, and if they write down your record, 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, so they can keep track. The big problem I see with amateur kickboxing, again, there's all these different promotions, but again, no one's keeping track of the record. Only you are, right? But then I've told promoters my record, and they added a win, they took off a loss to make it seem a little bit better. I went from having 2 losses to being undefeated, and again, it's just it's not just better, but this is the way it should be done. So then there is no sandbagging potentially, and there's no, hey, I'm going to match up a guy who's 6-0 against a guy who's 0-1. You know what I mean? We try to do even matchups, and again, the bigger thing is when we have these rankings, when Augustine is looking at the WKF rankings US in a year or whatever, and he can see, hey, AJ Castellanos, he's fought for us 7 times, he's 6-1. He's going to be ranked whatever, 1, 2, 3. We're looking for someone to go face the Argentinian champion in that weight class, right?
Exactly.
And again, who's first will be the first option. Maybe he can't go. Maybe he's injured. Maybe he's got other commitments.
He can't afford
or he can't.
something.
Maybe he doesn't want to do it, right? So then he's going to move on to the second and to the third. So again, so happy to have World Kickboxing Federation and Sparwars partnering up. That's just really great news for myself as a promoter, and then for all the fighters, that are just, again, looking to have their record, really not arguable, tracked, exactly. So you know what it is.
They were. Yeah.
And so moving on to what we had briefly discussed, but if you happen to be, a big fight fan, a martial artist, maybe a gym owner, or maybe you've wanted to be a gym owner, you wanted to get involved in the fight game. Well, Sparwars Entertainment and WKF were looking for sponsors, possibly investors, but what we're really looking for is partners. If you are looking to just, throw some money at us and you don't really care about the martial arts aspect of it, you probably won't be a good fit for us, right? Because it's easy to throw money at something, but we are more on values and culture and community. So again, actually I'm holding a Celsius right now. I'm proud to say that Celsius has partnered with us in some of our events in the past. But what we're looking for on the sponsorship level, we have different packages that we offer. Depending on which package you get, we offer different things. So whether it's having an ad played on the projector in between fights, in between the intermission or before the fights, after the fights, having your logo on the ring skirt or on the canvas, a variety of social media shout outs, being on the step and repeat, maybe when I make the next Sparwars shirts being featured as one of the logos here. There's a lot of different options that we're offering. Whatever it could be, obviously your company, your brand, whatever it is, if you're looking to grow it and also be part of something bigger than, whatever it is you're doing, come talk to us. We are looking for qualified partners to join us. All right, so I just want to go over some options we have for sponsorship opportunities. So it goes anywhere from bronze to platinum. I'll just go over the platinum really fast, which is our top level. That would give you an ad played on the projector during the event 3 times. So before the fight start, intermission, and then right before the main event. You'd also get your logo or whatever you want, but specifically a logo on the ring skirt. So this is the skirt that goes around the ring, and also on the ring canvas. So everything all the fights that are recorded, when people are watching it, sharing it, they'll see your logo right there on the ring canvas. Furthermore, your logo is going to be on the Sparwars poster. That's every poster that I make. So every individual poster, which gets shared by both fighters, their coaches, and their fans many times. I've had one poster shared 100 different times. I have the analytics to prove it. What else do you get? You get 4 custom social media shout outs on 4 different pages. The Sparwars page, my page, Augustine's page, and the WKF page. And you have the option for having a table there, so you can do any type of promotion you want, pass out flyers, do a raffle, etc., and 4 complimentary VIP tickets. That is the platinum level. It starts at $1,500. It's about $3,200 in advertising value. So again, and then that goes all the way down to our lower level, which is the bronze. That's just having your logo on the Sparwars fight poster, having some shout outs on the mic by yours truly. That's also obviously another big one that obviously comes with the platinum. You're getting a lot of mentions during the show. And then I'm going back to the bronze. Logo on the fight poster, 1 social media shout out a week, 2 complimentary general admission tickets, and then obviously a lot of love. Now in between bronze and platinum, we have silver, gold, so you can just kind of play with those prices. What basically happens is less Instagram shout outs, less complimentary tickets. The only 2 that are featured, their logo featured on the ring skirt and the ring canvas, that's only platinum and gold. Okay, so again, just want to throw that out to, again, fight fans, promotion fans, and really just anyone who's in the business of supporting what we're doing. If you have maybe, a cousin fighting on the show and you have the means to not just support their dream, but support the organization that's supporting their dream and giving them the platform to display what they work so hard in. These fighters are in the gym twice a day, 6 days a week, training their asses off, running, hitting the weights. And I feel like that's honestly one of the things that gets most lost for the average fan. They're so quick to judge and say they would have done this and they say they would have done that, but they've never put in the work. It's really easy to judge from the outside. And that's also, again, part of Sparwars, the exhibition style is, hey, if you want to see what it's like, if you're curious, maybe you've trained a little bit, you've done some sparring, but you've never actually been in a real type of fighting environment, come test yourself. You know, go see what it's like. Put in a 2-month training camp and then go into the fight.
Try to do it.
And yeah, try to do it.
And see how it feels.
I guarantee you'll have a lot, not only will you have an amazing experience, you'll have a lot more respect and understanding for when you're seeing those pro boxers or pro kickboxers or pro MMA fighters go at it, and you're no longer sitting there saying, oh, well, I would have done this, or I would have done that, or how come he didn't do this, how come he didn't do that?
Also, even your own partner, the partner that you will see again in the gym, you won't judge, you won't point, because
Exactly.
you experience that, you feel it on your own, and there's no better way to learn something than experience by yourself.
Yeah. And if you're wondering, again, sponsors, where your money, what it goes into. We have ring doctors we need to pay. We have judges we need to pay, referees, event insurance. For our new venue, we're gonna have to rent a ring. We have to obviously lock down the venue. So there's a lot that goes into throwing a successful event. So looking for qualified partners to join us. Again, that's something we discuss a little bit further. At a private time. I have a basic email that can give you a breakdown of the sponsorship levels. But
Right here.
yeah. And then the investors is something that would be something else that we'd have to discuss a little bit more in depth. That would be, again, in regards to whether you want to come in as an investor to own a piece of Sparwars. I don't think the World Kickboxing Federation is for sale, but I do have a small amount of room potentially to bring in a partner or two as an investor. Now, partners, sponsors, again, there's different sponsorship levels. I'll go over that in detail at a different time. And the last thing I'm offering, which we've had a few of these at a bunch of different shows, are vendors. So if you're interested in setting up a vendor table at Sparwars or the upcoming World Kickboxing Federation Championship event, DM us, send us an email. I've had Yerba Mate there. I've had Infinity IV Solutions. Again, we make sure that it makes sense for your business and for us. So again, Infinity IV Solutions, shout out Frank, was perfect because they're in the health and wellness industry, and that's essentially what we're doing.
Exactly.
So maybe you're a physical therapist, maybe your doctor's office, dentist office, maybe you're a real estate broker. If you're looking to just get your brand and your company more notice, reach out to us. We can definitely work with you. I'm not only obviously the promoter and owner of Sparwars, I'm also a trainer. I do a variety of events and sales consulting. Augustine has his own podcast, also a trainer. So when you're being mentioned on our social medias, don't think it's only going out to like fighters and coaches. This is going out to a variety of different entrepreneurs, business owners, you name it, and I've probably been a part of it, as well as Augustine. So you're really, really getting your brand out there to, I want to say, thousands of different viewers. And I have the analytics on our social media to prove it.
Exactly. You have the proof over there.
Yeah, exactly. The proof is in the pudding, guys. We want you to be part of something that's growing if you're the right fit. So again, send me a DM. We can set up a meeting, whether it be by phone or in person. I would love to talk to you, and let's get the ball rolling. Fighters, we are going to start with Sparcast. I want to start bringing fighters on to be interviewed. Let's talk about your training, whether it's you guys coming in here or us maybe visiting you guys at the gym. Let's talk about how your training's going. Let's talk about what your goals and aspirations are in the kickboxing or boxing realm. Let's talk about your gym, your coaches, anything that is basically leading up to the fight. That's what we want to cover. Yeah. Not just, we get that it's cool with the cameras and this, but we want you guys to get noticed. That's how fighters get sponsors. Exactly. That's how fighters get fights. Nowadays, right, in this this TikTok social media era, you really have to put yourself out there. It's not enough to just be the, hey, I just fight when I fight. I mean, it's great. I have a lot of respect for fighters like that because that is how it used to be. But, you know, now a lot of these promotions, we got influencer boxing, we got, you know, all this different stuff going on. They want to see that you're active on social media. They want to see that you have videos of yourself getting interviewed, training videos. That's how you're going to get sponsors. You know, that's just the reality of it.
That's another thing. Bringing the fighters, like the training camps or something. Whenever the title fights are coming for WKF to the shows or going outside, showing them, having this space over here to show the people how they went outside and fight, or here in huge events, train for the title. Make them notice that they are doing their job, you know?
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, it's going to be their job.
A fighter is going to get more sponsors by potentially, you know, again, having a higher ranking, fighting nationally maybe, fighting outside of Florida, fighting internationally, fighting in Argentina where, you know,
we are going, actually,
or Austria or wherever it is, where now the audience that's watching is bigger than just Florida. Now you can really appeal to a global market, and you can reach out to bigger sponsors that are looking for that reach, basically.
Exactly like that. I think having this space for them, bringing them here, or having a conversation also with us, maybe is something that they are not used to. Again, they're amateurs, and they're talking with the persons that are like ruling or, you know, directing the show or the things, and that's one main difference that I want to remark, because we don't want to sit here and talk about how good we do the things. We want to make them part of this.
Exactly.
So having them here will put us in the same line, in the same level, so we can share and we can hear what they have to say, and bring them all this stuff.
This why the Sparcast, the Sparwars podcast. Again, maybe you're a vendor or a sponsor that's interested. Let's sit you down. Let's talk about what you guys do, what you're gonna bring to the table for either the organization as a whole, for the fighters. Maybe you own a company that makes shirts, right? All right, let's talk. Let's get the fighters some custom shirts. Let's put your logo on the back. The opportunities are limitless. So again, I'm very open, and my ideas keep flowing. I know Augustine is also. I know the World Kickboxing, the WKF, is very open for different opportunities and partnerships. So guys, again, feel free to DM us. The Sparwars page is Sparwars_entertainment. You can also DM me directly. I'm at It's Me Nick P. Augustine, your handles?
We have for WKF, you have WKF.com. You go over there and you can see the whole central page, like head website. And also we have another one. It's NorthAmerica.WKFworld.com, and that one is like the website from North America and Canada and Mexico. So it's like the upper side.
And Sparwars.com is going to be dropping soon. Just FYI, we're going to have fight videos on there. I'm going to start some rankings, basically based on exhibitions. Obviously, a link towards the WKF site. Shout out to Emilio War Studios, helping me out with all the production for that. So, guys, it's just the sky's the limit. We are continuously working to make this. You know, I feel like a lot of promotions, we're making this the best promotion in the world or whatever. I don't like to say best or better or compare or we're going to be the biggest or anything like that. You know, realistically, I know that I'm not going to be, the UFC or ONE FC. That's not what I'm trying to do. But what I am trying to do, or not what I'm trying to, what we are doing is we're giving fighters the opportunity to compete so that one day maybe they can make that jump into the ONE FCs or the Glories or these huge promotions all around the world, So
if there isn't any amateurs, how could be a professional fighter? Right?
Exactly. There's no professionals without amateurs.
Something that I think we share in this, and it's important to me to say, it's like we don't have to forget that we wouldn't be here if they weren't fighters. Okay, the fighters are the most important part of this. Okay, never forget that. If you're a fighter that you're listening to this, never forget that you're the event. You are the show.
The event doesn't happen without you guys, without the fighters and the fans. And more importantly, and not a lot of promotions can say this, I mean, I'll give a huge shout out to Mitch over at Combat Night. You know, I fought for Combat Night, my first 3 MMA fights. So big shout out to Mitch. He's one of the guys who's really doing it right. But what's something I'm very proud to say, that this Sparwars, this WKF is for fighters by fighters. I'm not just like some promoter who's just coming, trying to take money. I've been through it all. I just fought amateur a month and a half ago, where I had to drive to West Palm Beach and, you know, go for the weigh-ins the day before and take time off. And I basically had to pay to fight. And I know what it's like. Augustine knows what it's like. We've been there. So we're trying to make the fighter experience the best fighter experience as possible, because we've been through it. You know, so we're not trying to cut any corners. We're trying to help promote you guys, help promote your gym, and just help promote this beautiful sport of kickboxing, of Muay Thai, of anything, you know, martial arts. That's what we're all about. So again, I'm going to say that again. This Sparwars event, WKF events are for fighters being thrown by fighters.
Exactly.
2 active fighters, actually. Augustine fought, what, 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
Yeah, 3 months ago.
You know, I fought a month and a half ago. So, again, I put a lot of pride.
You can look that on. I know you can.
I put a lot of pride into that, guys. You know, my last Sparwars, my fight was 5 days after that. I don't think a lot of promoters can say that. You know, if you can, then ups to you. But, you know, it's a lot when you're...
If they can... They come to us and they can fight in our event.
Exactly, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot to be matchmaking and dealing with vendors and rentals and all that stuff. And I'm also worried about, man, I got to go try and take this guy's head off, you know, 5 days after my event. But again, I love it. This is what I do. I'm a martial artist. I will be a martial artist for the rest of my life. And there's nothing more important than, again, not just putting on a good show. Putting on a good show is very important. But before putting on a good show, I got to make sure that all the fighters are taken care of. That's one of the most important things. So, guys, thanks for tuning in to this first episode of Sparwars Sparcast. Follow us at Sparwars_entertainment. We also have the website launching soon. That's going to have a registration page, so the fighters can just register through there. There's also going to be our merchandise, so you can buy a Sparwars shirt, Sparwars hat, potentially make like a walkout shirt for fighters. And then the WKF website,
we have america.wkfworld.com, where you can go over there, see the whole rankings, the worldwide ranking. You can check if you're over there, and also you register over there. If you're a fighter and you want to be part of our shows, go over there, register over there, so it's easier for us to get you a match, and also to keep this track that we've been talking about.
And again, if you just kind of want a shortcut to those websites, you can go to @WKFUSA. It'll have the link right there in the bio. Same thing was for Sparwars tickets. Okay, that's going to be in our bio. We'll have the Sparwars website link posted there as soon as it's open. My name is Nick, again, president and matchmaker for Sparwars and for the upcoming World Kickboxing Federation Championship 1.
Thank you so much, guys, for inviting me, for joining, for listening. Thanks to Sparwars Studios for all this setup, for everything. And this is Agustin Andiarena, Sports Director of the US.
Thank you, guys. Fighters, be looking out for an invite to join Sparcast Volume 2. Again, I'm still matching up for fighters on June 17th. That's going to be at Wolfpack Boxing Club. And then our big show venue is still in secret. We will be announcing that soon. Yep. And that is going to be August 19th, fully sanctioned kickboxing fights with 3 different styles: full contact kickboxing, K1 style, and Muay Thai, which is also available for Sparwars Volume 11 coming up on June 17th. Shout out to our sponsors, Knockout, Shop Raw Collective, my partners at Wolfpack Boxing Club, the World Kickboxing Federation, War Studios, Emilio, and of course, all the fighters, all the fans.
This is how
See you next
legends
time.
are made. Above it all, untouchable.